Very nice to see you all. Welcome to Race. Extremely happy to be here. First things first, I'm thankful to Dr. Shrinu and team for inviting me here. I've been associated with Race for the last 8 years from the very first batch from 2018. So you know the legacy of Race. We have brought out a tremendous change in terms of people reinvent their careers when they come and do their MSc here in whatever domain, be it cyber security or cloud or AI or analytics. Definitely, this is the right place for them. You must have done your research on the courses and the reviews you would have done. You don't have to take my word for that. My next speaker is actually an alumni. You can hear more real-time stories from him, stuff that made him leader today after coming to raise. Very quickly, today's topic is on the AI. How do you leverage AI for cybersecurity? So before I start, I would want to put out this disclaimer. I work for Volvo Group, but I come in here in my personal capacity. So whatever I say is my personal opinion, not that of my employer. Okay. And we'll quickly look at all of this. It's very high level. It is not in-depth training session. So please keep that in mind, that perspective in mind. And this will give you a lot of pointers. So whichever domain you are, you will get an understanding. Even if you're not in cyber, if you're in analytics, definitely for the kind of data you're handling, security is important and how you can leverage AI for that. Okay. So today's cyber landscape, threat landscape is changing rapidly because of the emergence of AI. It is an additional, it's very asymmetrical cyber warfare that is going on. It is not equal. The cost of cyber crimes is only increasing. At the same time, it's very cheaper for threat actors to deploy AI tools. You don't have to be an expert to launch cyber attacks. So take any statistic, we all talk about big numbers. So in one statistic which talks about my important number here, the point here is AI is for, though it has a lot of advantages for the business, it is also equally used by the threat actors, hackers, and criminals, APT gangs included. And they use it as a tool and a target and a medium for launching cyber attacks. Okay, so remember this: it's a tool, target, and a medium for cyber attacks. And today we are in the era of not just AI versus human; it is AI versus AI. You heard of this? AI versus AI, and that is getting all the more messier. And it's a losing battle at times. How we are able to defend our systems, and the traditional systems are not enough to protect our infrastructure or data. So you need to go beyond, right? So I don't have to spend much time on the basics here. I understand that since you guys already come from background, but point here is AI as a domain is very, very useful for cyber security, right? It offers lot many advantages in terms of the speed and the scale with which you can handle cyber attacks. Okay, so today's scenario, any tool you take, of course, a lot of marketing fluff is there. If you speak to any marketing guy from any of the sort of security product companies, OEMs, they say our tool is AI powered, AI enabled. But you should also understand what is really AI in that. It could be just automation, right? Which they package very smartly as AI. So that's something you'll have to build your skills to find out whether it is really AI. Yeah. And some industry perspectives, different reports. So this particular report talks about how companies are counting on AI for identifying threats and thwarting attacks. It's for both, right? So this is again from a report from Capgemini Research Institute. And one more data point. This also talks about how network security has the highest deployment of AI. Again, this is a very dynamic statistic. It is not, fixed set. Every year, if the patterns change, new vectors evolve, right? And some more statistic. So what's important here is how 79% of IT security executives believe that their companies have taken steps to reduce risks associated with using AI. Okay, it's a global number, not sure about India, versus 54% of hands-on practitioners believe that their organizations have taken measures to reduce risks associated with using AI, right? So we have come a long way from 2022 when ChatGPT came on the scene and AI became mainstream. And for researchers, people who are in the academic field, they will tell you AI is not something new in the last 3 years it came on scene. It is was definitely there for last 40, 50 years, but more in the academic research circles. So it got very popularized, commercialized in 2022 when ChatGPT was introduced. But from then on, this particular domain has grown in leaps and bounds, right? And that is continuing to evolve, right? So again, this is again for nearly 3 and 4 companies are already feeling the impact of AI-powered threats. So it shows how much AI is being used for launching cyber attacks. And improving threat detection is the number one area where in cybersecurity where AI is expected to have an impact. It's a very important use case for AI in cybersecurity for threat detection and mitigation. And we are in the era of agentic AI, where you do not have to have lot many human agents in, for example, in your SOC, your security operations center. It was heavily human dependent, right? Human agent dependent. We had L1, L2, L3, all those levels. Today, most companies which are offering AI-powered SOC solution, they talk about agentic AI, where primarily the functionality there is it can save on time, it can mitigate the threat faster, it can detect the threats faster, do the triaging. Everything is about speed and precision in when you involve when you deploy agentic AI. So they say if uh, alert is coming at morning 10 a.m. and there is a human agent has been deployed. Okay, one is alert fatigue. Second is human error. So these are all the risks. Third is they may just be having an oversight. Okay, in looking at that alert, they may not give the attention it deserves. So the guy is in the morning shift, say morning 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. He can choose to do or not to do, depending on the SLA they have. He can just hand it over to the next shift guy and move away. So the next shift guy who comes, he or she will have to look at it. So this only prolongs the window of exposure. Anyway, the alert is there, the threat is already highlighted through the alert, but it has not been remediated. So what agentic AI does is it will instantly triage the alert, find out if it is a valid one, genuine one, has it already been exploited in the wild, and then it's going to apply the remediation also. So everything happens in a matter of few minutes, okay, and then it is closed, case is closed, and there is no need for licensing. Say, for example, if you are using service now, you don't have to pay for licenses. You don't have to pay for your employees, SOC analysts, right? Of course, there is a human cost involved. So many people will be losing jobs. But the way agentic AI works is it's very much more efficient and accurate in handling these kind of threats. And it can handle in the scale, which we human agents cannot do, right? And the biggest advantage they are saying is your human agents can be used for much more strategic and oversight related tasks rather than a routine looking at the alerts and fixing it, right? So that's just one quick use case. So here are some use cases how GenAI is used actually. We were talking about threat detection and mitigation, right? Intelligence, also in risk management, also in exposure management. Today, attack surface has expanded a lot, right? So in that case, it's very difficult to deploy so many tools, and handling them is not a easy task, right? Then you do have on other areas like phishing simulation. Today, the biggest threat is the social engineering, and AI is bringing its own flavor of hyper realistic. Almost it's real, right? When you look at the deepfake videos, deepfake images, right? So sometime back when Kumbh Mela was happening, we were all giggling looking at the pictures of Donald Trump and Putin and all world leaders taking a dip in the Ganga. But it was harmless, but it is much more lethal. Deepfake has been used for cheating people, even cloning the voice, cloning the video images, right? If you just Google for BEC attacks, right? Your business email compromise attacks, the deepfake videos are effectively used by the threat actors to siphon money, right? So BEC again is a very specialized targeted attack against the finance and procurement professionals in an organization. It typically involves a CEO, calling up these guys and asking to release the payment to a particular account, and these guys thinking actually the real CEO is calling either over phone or through video. They may just approve the amount and make the payment, and that goes to the hacker's account. So these things are happening for real, right? Where we also see in the media how this kind of voice cloning, video cloning. In Insta, a few months back, there it was all the rage was they were showing how a secret trading account you can open. You make millions of rupees every day, lakhs of rupees every day in stock trading, and it was endorsed by Ambani, right? I mean, Anant Ambani, it was endorsed by Nirmala Sitharaman. So somebody asked me, from herself is talking about this. Is it true? One look at it and I told it is fake. Don't believe. It is a deep fake video. It looks very realistic, right? So these are all stuff that you and me as an end user keep seeing. But this is much beyond, right? What you see in corporate setup, the kind of attacks it can do is much more. But how it can help in incident response? Today's incident response is all automated. Nobody likes to sit and draft big reports, collating inputs, right? It's a very tiresome job, tedious work. Whereas if you deploy AI agents, it can do it in quickly, right? And phishing detection, for fraud prevention, in all these areas you can use AI, right? And a few more use cases revolving the same. What is different here is even for realistic training scenarios, because today training, if you just do a plain Jane slide deck presentation, nobody likes, especially Gen Z kids, right? So they want to be involved. They wanted to make it more fun, more interactive, gamified environment. So all that you can do it through AI technology, right? Now that's more important. I'm skipping this, but definitely you can take a deeper look later, like we shared with you. So AI has its own set of risks, right? AI has its own set of risks. And today, current trend in 2025 is AI-powered attacks are going to only increase, apart from the other threat vectors, including zero trust and supply chain attacks. Yeah. What is a key thing here is how the rise of AI-powered attacks are happening. We already saw how automated it is, the scalability, right? A matter of minutes, it can actually swamp an organization or multiple organizations, right, with the kind of attacks. And you do have this new version of polymorphic malware where it keeps changing its capability and characteristics, which a traditional EDR cannot handle, right? Cannot detect, traditional antivirus cannot handle. So that is again AI possible. We already spoke about deep fakes. And also we do have automated credential stuffing. Credential stuffing is they just breach. How many of us use different passwords for different accounts? You remember all of them? Really? What do you remember? No, 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 no. It's very, very, very risky. Very risky. So normally people use convenience. They choose convenience versus security. Always convenience wins. Agreed, right? You don't like to do security procedures and stuff. Whatever is convenient, it's a user choice. Nothing wrong about it. So if you have to go straight in a gate and they do banding and all, metal detector check, pat down check, and you have a side gate where nobody's checking, we'll always choose the side gate, right? So that is the human nature, nothing right or wrong about it, right? But if you are only not following the rules, correct? My point is, when you use the same credential everywhere, in one place, if it is breached, it can be used in multiple places where these tools can actually do the stuffing of your user ID and password, right? So I use the same password for my online account, say Axis Bank, and that is breached for instance, God forbid. It could be used for my account in HDFC Bank or other banks. So it's all easy, right? So that is credential stuffing. So you can use AI tools for doing that. And also on autonomous exploit development. That's again very easy with AI, right? And increase in your social engineering we already saw, and targeted agentic AI, adversarial AI. Adversarial AI is again another field which is emerging in a big, big way, where AI is used for carrying out very, advanced attacks against systems and networks. And of course, you do have attacks on critical infrastructure. So what is critical infrastructure? Anyone? Excuse me.
Water, electricity.
Yeah, water, electricity systems, your dam systems, your nuclear power plants, your railways, banking systems, financial systems. Imagine if the rail network is down or airport is shut down, airport network is shut down, your planes will not fly. We already had an issue, right, last year, right, with CrowdStrike, and railways it gets stopped, or UPI system is down. It's very mind-boggling to think of the consequences, right? So all these things are happening. So some of the key risks that we are predicting is on regulations is going to get only tighter. When India is planning to have a AI regulation, I don't know when. We are still waiting for rules to be notified for Digital Personal Data Protection Act. The act has been passed 2 years back, but still the rules are yet to be notified. And we also need new guardrails in terms of how you develop. The biggest problem here is the ethical and responsible use of AI. So that is always a point of bother. Because I'm not sure how many of you remember a couple of years back before Google Gemini was there, it was called Google Bard, right? So there was outrage in the internet community when somebody queried, prompted for SS Nazi Guard. Okay, Nazi Guard is the Germany soldier during the World War time, during Hitler's time. And it gave an output which was completely wrong and unacceptable. It showed a person of color, that is a black person, like a black man, was with a Nazi uniform, right, with all the swastika and stuff. There was no black soldier in the Hitler's army. So those kind of anomalies where it's actually a bias of the people who coded and the kind of data they fed into the LLM. That was an issue, right? And today, AI cyber arms race is very big. You don't have to be really, really big. The entire economy of North Korea runs on cyber crimes, right? They don't have food to eat. They don't have anything worthwhile, right? But the country itself is dependent on cyber crimes and especially on ransomware attacks. And many of they use AI very, very effectively. The Western media and the Western nations portray four countries as the axis of evil. Can you name which are those four? Any? Russia, China, North Korea, Iran. Okay, as if the other guys are holy saints. Everyone is equally crooked. Even including India also has a hacker army. Only thing openly we won't accept. Of course, India also has a cyber command in the army. Like you have the Navy, Air Force, and Army. You do have cyber command. Tomorrow there could also be a space command because India is one of the very few nations, I think handful of them, six or seven, that has capability for attacking even in the space. We have got capability, weapons they have developed. So in that kind of scenario, countries are supporting, nation states are supporting hacker groups. And these groups are called advanced persistent threat gangs or groups, APT groups. They're very advanced and sophisticated. They're always persistent. Okay, if they want to target a particular company, no matter how big or small the brand is or how big their valuation is, there is no escaping. You've seen, heard of Marriott Hotel? How many times it got hacked? You just Google, you'll know. Four times, five times. Publicly, we know. I don't know how many they actually underwent. Okay, but every time they hack, it becomes a big news. Same thing with Uber, also multiple attacks. Microsoft, multiple attacks. Name any corporation, or no matter how big the brand is, they all have been hacked. Now, with the emergence of AI, these APT groups are getting all the more powerful because they are also using AI for launching attacks. Yeah. And the other thing is we already spoke about BEC attacks, how deepfakes are assisting, and ransomware attacks are also used by hackers, and self mutating malware, that is your polymorphic malware, and AI powered botnets. And that is also a big concern. And of course, supply chain attacks. Okay. So why these AI powered attacks are very dangerous? Well, one is it is a very low entry barrier for criminals. Nobody is stopping them. Second is it exploits are very fast, right? And threat actors collaborate. That's a sad thing. When we guys from the defender community, we are not collaborating, but the threat actors are collaborating in the dark web, and it adapts adaptive learning, learns very fast from the patterns, and it actually helps them to get more smarter and sharper and reduce deduction time, right? All these things. And we already spoke about adversarial AI. This is for real, and it is only getting worse. Generative AI threat map. This is one way of looking at the AI threats. Okay, one is on the user level, and second is on the application level, third is on the platform level. I'm not getting into the details because of paucity of time, but I got enough content for you to learn later. The other key thing is these two terms are different: AI for security and security of AI. Okay, so in a simple way, if I have to explain, I'll use this analogy, very easy for everyone to understand. AI for security is like installing a very sophisticated AI powered camera system to monitor your house or any of your property so that the intruders are kept away. Okay. Now, security of AI is like protecting that smart camera from being hacked by the threat actors. Got it? So that's the simple definition. These two are two different terms. Okay, two different purposes and objectives. So please learn a bit. The core thing here is the risks only get expanding in AI. Okay, and same thing in different formats they are given. That's the reason I included so many pictures for you to consume later. Okay, and we have already seen how AI helps in all these areas, including secure authentication and preventing online frauds, right? So how AI enhances cyber defense is, it can help in threat detection faster in real time. No waiting time, mean time to detect is actually reduced, right? The MTTD and automated response. I explained earlier how in SOC it helps, and your auto advanced threat intel. Now, not many vendors today they are offering threat intelligence services. Some of the threat intel reports that we receive is all not relevant to our context. I belong to the automotive sector. It's again a very targeted industry, right? So, what is the biggest threat between difference between threats against automotive or a healthcare company and a normal banking organization? In a banking organization, the repercussions are only two. One, you lose money. Second is the identities. Okay, identities are stolen and exposed. It could be misused also. All right. Of course, confidentiality is lost when customer records are exposed. So apart from that, only money and identity confidentiality loss. Whereas in a healthcare company, which is making advanced medical devices, for example, your CT scanners, MRI scanners, digital X-rays, right? I used to work for Philips. That's what I'm telling from my experience. And or automotive company. I used to work for Nissan Motor Corporation for 5 years. The last almost 2 years I'm with Volvo. So I can tell you with authority why automotive companies and healthcare companies are in much danger. What is the biggest difference when between these two categories, automotive and healthcare? Life safety, right? Today we are in the era of autonomous vehicles, right? Of course, in India, it's going to take long time before they come debut on our roads. But you must have seen in videos or you must have experienced yourself the Waymo vehicles and all. What is the biggest risk? If the car is hacked, then the life safety of the occupants in the car, including the driver, and also outside, the pedestrians and other road users are at risk, right? So that is the biggest risk because today's cars are not just simple mechanical contraption, right? They are connected vehicles, and the kind of data that they generate is humongous, right? They're almost like a mobile data center on wheels. There is a report from a company called Upstream. That's a very big name in the automotive consulting world. So they do an annual report, which is well regarded. They say every day 25 GB of data is being generated from your car, right? So today modern cars, almost last 10, 15 years, whatever car we buy, comes with an app, right? At least in the last 10 years. Even scooters, electric vehicle scooters also come with an app. So the app is actually generating so much of info. It will also give you a drive score depending on your driving pattern, right? It can also tell you your GPS information from where you went, what speed, what direction, and also it can tell you geofencing also you can do. So much of parameters go into that. And an average car will have 1,500 to 2,000 sensors. Your engine control unit, transmission control module, body control module. A lot of components are all chip enabled, your semiconductor chip enabled, IoT sensors. So these sensors make the car very efficient. And today's cars, unlike the older Fiat's, Ambassadors, and Marutis, you cannot take to a local garage and get it fixed because they all have connected vehicle and it's all proprietary systems and proprietary technology. You have to go to the authorized service center and they scan it with the OBD port. They have specialized software. They connect the laptop. Yeah? Guys who have the latest cars, you guys can connect it. I mean, can relate it, right? So this kind of era, if the software is not secure, the systems are not secure, and if a hacker can actually compromise and they plant a malware or change the functionality, imagine the consequences. Your car is not in your control, right? We already had enough instances in the media where Mahindra XUV 700 met with accidents sporadically, and every time the users, the drivers were saying the car oversteered itself. I didn't have control of the car. It went and fell into a ditch, right? It could be a mechanical issue or a normal sensor issue, but there's no evidence so far that it is actually result of a cyber attack or a cyber compromise. But there are enough examples, POC concepts have been proven. You can Google for any brand name, be it Mercedes or Audi or BMW, Nissan, Volvo, any name, and just put hack attack. You will get the details. So even a Jeep, any brand, you have enough cases. So it has already been proven. So it is challenging battle for all these automotive companies to protect against these kind of crimes, against threats. And we do have VSOC, vehicle SOC also, apart from the normal SOC, where we monitor for these vehicles. In the case of my company, our trucks are not what you see in India, very sophisticated, the Volvo trucks. So how many of you have seen that Vanda Miss split advertisement? So the very sophisticated trucks, even they have a connected vehicle technology, and we are responsible for protecting it, right? We have a whole team sitting here. We are around 5,000 employees in Bangalore, including the research folks, and we work on different technologies, including cybersecurity. We do have an in-house SOC that monitors on different parameters. And apart, I'm not talking even about the OT. The operational technology security is a different piece. It belongs to the factory. So that is again a very, very sophisticated and specialized work, which we do not get involved. So I'm just giving you how OT also is coming under attacks by AI powered technology. And what is more important in this is apart from other aspects like your responsible and ethical AI aspects like fairness, transparency, and stuff. The security and privacy is very important. This is just a screenshot from one report from McKinsey and Co. And the other risk mitigation is I do have a whole range of tools that is AI enabled that you need to carefully evaluate and deploy. And the it starts with a strong governance on AI. We do have entire governance certification called AIGP from the privacy body called IAPP. They offer a AI governance professional, which Shiva has already qualified. Okay, one of the early pioneers. It talks about how to put together the basic building blocks on how you develop secure AI systems. Not just security and privacy, governance aspect includes how to be legally safe, how you have to be compliant with the law. In EU, you have, in European Union, you have a EA Act. And then you do have US also, different states have different acts to monitor and regulate AI. In India, we are still in the very infancy stages, right? So we talked about ethical AI. So these are some of the aspects of it, how you are responsible, equitable, and traceable, governable, and reliable. Explainability is very important. What kind of decision it is making. So in autonomous car, whether the car should accelerate and continue the speed when it sees an object, or it should stop. Okay, that is a very simple use case. What if a cow comes in between? Whether the car should stop, and the car also has sensors which sees at a high speed there are vehicles following. If the car has a sudden braking, there will be other vehicles hitting it. So instead of braking, if it swerves also, it could actually be a traffic hazard. What if it runs over the cow or the dog? What is the decision on it? It's all very tricky, what we do. If it is an animal, it's a different thing. If it is a human being, what do you do? Right? You have to have explainability for the decision making, and that also should be a human in the loop in the sense for critical. If you are, there should be a kill switch also where human agents are able to override and have a clear oversight on AI. You can't leave AI to on its own by defining rules and say you just follow this, right? That's where the this thing is. Almost all big four audit firms have their own AI strategy, governance strategy. Either it is PwC, EY, or Deloitte, or KPMG. Every one of them have their own responsible AI toolkit. Okay, so again, responsible AI has these 8 components, of which we are only concerned about the security and privacy. So fairness, explainability, accountability, was data integrity. End of the day, you are only dealing with the tons and tons of data. The data is not good quality, then your results can be very bad, right? And again, we are talking about reliability, security, privacy, and safety. So think of vehicles. Think of medical devices. The pacemaker is hacked, right? By AI-powered attacks. It can lead to wrong, issues for the patient who is having, or it could lead to fatality. If an MRI scanner gives wrong results, right? The diagnosis by the doctor can be based on the wrong output. So that can lead to fatality for the patient, right? So imagine now that AI is also coming in, and there is a hacker group that is threatening a major vendor, right? That we found a vulnerability in your systems. If you're not doing this, we are going to hack into your system. Or if for a big public celebrity, say somebody who is a head of state or a government who is having that particular device implanted, there's a pacemaker or something, and the bad guys got to know that this guy has put this particular pacemaker, they can actually hack, right? It's very mind-boggling. It's not a it's not in the I'm not talking about a science fiction stuff. It's all reality, right? 10 years back, if somebody is talking, you would have said it is all sci-fi stuff, right? So that is one. Now, what are the best practices? You do have, best practices from NIST. Heard of NIST? They have cybersecurity framework. The same one has come up with the AI risk management framework. And of course, OWASP has got top 10, vulnerabilities for LLMs, right? Large language models. Even they have for mobile devices also. They are expanding. So these are all the latest ones that keeps evolving. The AI RMF is a very good guideline. How you develop AI systems in a very secure way so that you de-risk it, right? So again, you have the Gen AI SecOps framework also has come up, right? And AI red teaming is another area for cybersecurity folks. This is another area which is emerging in a big way, right? And you have MITRE Corporation that comes up with the MITRE Atlas, right? Advanced, adversarial threat landscape for AI systems. That's a huge repository of all AI threats and risks, which you can actually refer. It talks about the tactics, it talks about the techniques, and also it gives you a lot of case studies to play around, right? So there are a lot of AI tools to automate your pen test and your security audits, right? Like this, you have for every other task, you have new tools that are emerging. So you'll have to evaluate and see whether it actually works for your environment before using. So big question is whether AI will replace jobs. No, it will not, because it will change the nature of work. Only the routine, mundane jobs gets replaced, not the ones that you need human intelligence and ingenuity to think and design, right? And AI won't take your job. It's somebody like using AI that will take your job. Simple as that. So get onto the AI bandwagon. Even if you're not doing your masters in AI, whatever masters you do, still you need to have a flavor of AI in whatever you do, right? Otherwise, you become outdated, right? So AI is also changing the way we cybersecurity professionals are working. Our roles are also changing. So you need a lot of digital skills. You've seen how all the tech companies, especially in the service industry, you've seen the bloodbath that is happening in TCS. They are want to kick out so many employees, 12,000 employees. Already, Accenture has kicked out 11,000 employees. They are saying they don't have digital skills. They don't want to upskill them using, at their cost. So they have been, offboarded. So it's very pathetic, no? So point is, whatever domain you come from, please upskill or get onto the AI so that you stay relevant to the industry, right? So there are a lot of certifications are there. I'm not getting in depth. It's not the scope of this, but you have to use some parameters. These are some of the parameters on which you can choose a certification. There are a lot of free courses you want to take a quick look available from different vendors. Okay, I already spoke about AIGP. This is for at a very advanced level, but it is not impossible. I think you can ask Shiva, right? And also a lot of vendors are offering certifications, be it NVIDIA or IBM and others. Okay, so in summary, today AI has a huge role that in cybersecurity, which is only getting better and better as far as the defenders technologies are concerned, capabilities are concerned. At the same time, we need to remember the bad guys are also getting smarter, right? And what is very important is the collaboration. We as a community, whether we are learners or practitioners or law enforcement authorities or security OEM product vendors, right? Everyone will have to collaborate and making the world much more safer, right? So, have any questions? We will talk more. Otherwise, we will close for now.